Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Question. Besides being celebrities, what does Sha'Carri Richardson, Talib Kweli, and Juvenile have in common? I'll give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. They've all been kicked off American Airlines flights. Yeah, fam. American Airlines have a black problem. Yeah, fam. This appears to be systemic. Time and time again, you hear about celebrities and black people in general having problems with American Airlines, accusing them of racism. Racism in America 2024? No way possible, man. We're in a post-racial society. This stuff is not going down. This is just a figment of our imagination. Racism is over. Kamala Harris even said it. America is not a racist country. Who believes that? Who believes it? Give me a thumbs up if you believe that racism is not an American thing. If America is not a racist country, give me a thumbs up if you believe that. Thumbs down if you say, hell no, man. Oh yeah, it's racist. Let me see where y'all are. My thoughts. Now I'm going to be objective with this now. So I might offend y'all. I might offend some of y'all with my statement. But I got to call a strike and a ball a ball. To be honest, fam, when I really think about America and all that it has to offer, all that it has given us, the opportunities that we have here, it's hard for me to look at America and say that it's not a racist country. Damn right America is a racist country. What makes it racist is that it's systemic. The people who run it, they purposely write laws and enforce laws to put black folks at a disadvantage. One might say that the American way is anybody but black. You know, anybody can have a restaurant. We ain't gonna give them no problems. Anybody can open up a club. We're not gonna hit them with no noise ordinances. Anybody can open up a hotel, buy some land. We ain't gonna give them no problem. You can buy a football team, a basketball team, a baseball team, as long as you got the money. Anybody but black. That's the mentality. Does that stop us from getting it? No. We're gonna get it anyway. That's what they can't stand, the resilience. Anyway, fam, this brings me to American Airlines' latest fiasco, latest racist incident involving the good homie Juvenile. Now, y'all know Juvenile don't bother nobody. Juvenile keep his head down and go straight to work. You know, he's a worker. I'm talking about a boss, but a worker, meaning that he put the work in. That's what I'm talking about here. Anyway, fam, Juvie and his wife was on a flight, an American Airlines flight, and the attendants walk up to them and ask Juvenile to leave his first class seat because they had to put him in coach. For whatever reason, they got to give that seat to somebody else, but they paid for the seats. His wife said they paid for seats 1A and C, and they want to move Juvie to the back. Now, from what I understand, the airline had to switch flights, which meant that the seats were somehow shuffled or whatever, and they had somebody they wanted to put in Juvie's seat, even though he paid for it. American Airlines is out of pocket, man. That ain't Juvie's problem. Juvie said, man, I'm not finna go to the back. I'm not finna go to coach. You know, I paid for this first class seat. His wife was like, why you trying to make him move out of all the people on the plane? There was other people in first class. Why you pick him to give his seat up out of all the people? And Juvie warned them that, hey, I'm a celebrity. It's going to be bad for you. It's going to be bad news. And he was absolutely right. American Airlines is getting dragged from pillar to post, as they should. So how did the crew explain themselves? They said they didn't pick Juvie to be downgraded to coach. The computer did. The old blame it on the computer trick, huh? Juvie said, yeah, right. Out of all the people in first class, y'all just picked a celebrity to be downgraded. Let me tell you something, fam. Those people know who you are when you're flying, especially if you fly more than once. They know who you are. I'm pretty sure they knew who Juvie was. And let's just say the computer does pick. You know what they would have done? Hit it again. They wouldn't have kicked Ben Affleck off. They would not have kicked his wife off. They, let me compare apples to apples here. Let me come down to the rap category. They wouldn't have kicked Eminem off. They would not have kicked Machine Gun Kelly off. They would not have kicked Bubba Sparks off. What about Juvie's wife, who stood 10 toes down in defense of him? I ain't got no problem with that. Rather than go to coach, rather than be demoted to coach, Juvie chose to exit the plane. I can understand his frustration, but I would not have exited that plane. I would have forced them to force me out of that seat. Call the police. I'm gonna miss the flight anyway. Go ahead and call the police. I would have made them get the police and force me off the plane. And at that point, well, I contact my lawyer. We file the appropriate documentations and paperwork, and we make them cut us a big, fat, juicy check. Easy money. I'm talking about easy money. How do they decide who has to give up their seat? And why should anybody have to give up a seat in the first place? If they double book that seat, that's their problem, not Juvie's problem. And that means first come, first serve. Why would you try to force him out of that seat? Now, it doesn't mean that Juvie don't still have some type of legal recourse. He does. But it would have been a whole lot worse. He would have had a lot more action if he had forced them to force him off the flight. I ain't got no problem being inconvenienced for a few hours to make a few $100,000, million, whatever. Few million. I ain't got no problem with that. Running to my car. Easy money. Going to the doctor. Easy money. I ain't got no problem with being inconvenienced for a few hours. American Airlines has a history of this type of behavior. You know, they also did this with, what's that guy? Is it David Ryan, I think? He's a singer. Black guy who has mixed children, and they accused him of trafficking the kids. Yeah, detained him. Then there was this situation where there was 8 black guys on an American Airlines flight. And they made all of those guys get off the flight. These guys were unrelated. They didn't know each other. They wasn't seated together. But they made 8 black guys get off the plane for no apparent reason. 3 of them filed a lawsuit, I believe, in January. They filed a lawsuit. No, it was May. In any event, they filed a lawsuit against American Airlines for racial discrimination, and against American Airlines for racial discrimination. And American Airlines said they were going to do better. They actually acknowledged that they were in the wrong, and they have come up with some type of advisory board to help their employees be more sensitive. They supposedly have suspended the crew that was involved in all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you something, fam. This is a pathology. That means that the people at the top, leadership starts at the top. So whatever's going on with the crew, it is a reflection of management. And whatever's going on with management, it is a reflection of upper management. They know what's going on. They can tell when they're getting too many of these type of cases. They hire these people because these people think the way that they do. These people behave the way that they do. And what they're banking on is that they're never exposed. They're banking on that they have the power, and they teach them how to get around being accused of racism and stuff like that. And so they know exactly who they're hiring. They know who these people are. So when they come up with these advisory boards and these so-called DEI programs and all that stuff, that's a dog and pony show. They never really change who they are. This has been going on forever. And American Airlines is not the only ones. This type of attitude is not exclusive to American Airlines. Just a few months ago, Pepper from Salt and Pepper got kicked off of Southwest Airlines, over some BS. United Airlines has had their issues. Let me tell you what's going on, fam. One of the biggest things going on is that besides the normal racism that they have, a lot of these people that work for the airlines, they can't stand the fact that black people are able to buy first class tickets. This is why so many people, black people in first class, especially black celebrities, have issues. You never see this with white celebrities. I haven't. I'm sure there's 1 or 2 cases out there. But I'm saying when it comes to black celebrities having these type of experiences on airlines, especially in first class, it's actually a thing. And that is because that flight crew, they are absolutely pissed that they have to cater and serve black people. These are black people who got money, who got means. And so when they see that, they're just jealous. They get jealous. They hate it. That's what's really going on. It's the jealousy, it's the envy. I've seen more and more black people in first class over the last maybe 5-10 years than I've ever seen before. I remember at a time, most time I would fly, there would be no black people in first class. When I first started getting money, I didn't fly first class. I always flew coach. I wanted to get the money, because when I would fly, I'm typically going to put in some work. I'm hitting the stage and stuff like that. So I didn't care, and my crew didn't care about first class tickets and stuff. We cared about getting as much money put in our pockets as opposed to wasting money on flights. as I got older, I started buying first class tickets because they started shrinking the space on the flights, you know, between the seats and stuff. They started shrinking that space. And so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was just too tight. So I fly first class for convenience. And that convenience don't really have nothing to do with being served, because most of the time I fall asleep. It don't have nothing to do with the food, because the food is trash. No matter what airline you get on, the food is trash. Airline food reminds me of something that a soldier might eat in the battlefield. That's my time, fam. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.